Hey everybody, Jeff here. I hope you are having a great night. It is 6:43 p.m. on August the 21st, 2019. I thought I would just let's see here, let's get this on. Where is it? There it is. Um I thought I would just keep my promise to you guys. I know it's a couple days late and I hope you guys are awesome and understand. I've just been going through some really hard times in my life right now, and I know you guys deserve me to keep the videos, on time. I give you my word, but it's just I've had some real hard times coming up, guys, and I got a little bit of free time, and I figured it's time to do this special presentation. Now, if you're wondering what this is, then I strongly ask that you watch the Unsolved Mysteries commentary Danny Casolaro case, because this video is going to be tied to that. Um, but yeah, so let's get started, shall we? So let's get this off. Let's get that off. Let's get the display. Hold on one second. I gotta make sure everything is closed out and stuff. I want to try not to have a hugely cluttered window, Okay, close that out. Jeez, I didn't know I had that many things open on this desktop before I started recording. But I hope you're all having a great night. If this is like the very first video you're ever watching that I'm making. Let me just do a quick introduction. My name is Jeff, and I am a fan of Unsolved Mysteries commentary. Doing Unsolved Mysteries, my main, my main hobby, on this channel and on YouTube is kind of Unsolved Mysteries commentary, but I do a wide variety of things. But anyway, like I said, this should not be like the first video ever of mine that you're watching. This is like an additional content to a previous video. So I suggest that if you're curious, look up the Danny Casolaro case, and I will actually post a link to that case. Now, if you watch the Danny Casolaro case, you'll remember this scene right here, and here's what it is.
Casolaro claimed the octopus was at the root of not only the Inslaw affair, but the Iran-Contra scandal, B.C.C.I., B.N.L., and even the now largely discredited October surprise. In short...
Okay, so basically Danny Casolaro was looking into several conspiracies that this shadow organization could have had their hands on. And I actually already have those things highlighted in this video as you're watching right now. Let me there. Basically, it's like I think it's like four things. There's 1, 2, 3, four things. So sorry guys, hiccups. But so we have the Iran. These are things I'm going to be actually looking up in this video. So I'll be looking at the Iran-Contra scandal, the B.C.C.I. scandal, the B.N.L. affair, and the now discredited October surprise. Now, before I continue on, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you all know I am not a professional investigator at all. I do not claim to be. This is just me doing some computer sleuthing here, and if you don't want to watch a video like that, I understand, because there's not going to be much more in the way of Unsolved Mysteries. It's just going to be me investigating these scandals. But before I do, I actually feel the need that I want to talk about. Somebody said actually something in the special video. I did a promo for this case back on Monday before all my problems started up. But I thought, a person was nice enough and he posted something. And let me do a quick reply. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I also want to say thank you to Robert Resendez. He left a few nice, a couple nice comments, about, when I said I'm not in a good place, and honestly, still, I'm not in a really good place, but I gotta be able to do something, or I'm literally gonna have a nervous breakdown, like, I'm grateful for what family I have left and my friends, my friend, like Aaron McNabb here, he's one of my best friends, and my other friend Ryan, they're trying to help me through this hard period, and I just want to say thank you to you two guys on top of my mom and everything. Okay, let's see here. But I posted a video, a promo basically saying that. Okay, here it is. This is the video that, or the promo posting. But anyway, the guy named Jeremiah Holt, he posted, there is some evidence that Tommy Burkett's suicide is related to the octopus. I've done some research into Danny and the octopus. I can share my research if you would like. And I'm actually going to leave him a nice message right now. Think we would all like to see, read what you have to. It's lagging a little bit. You have to say. Feel free to post it here. This is going to be part of a special I'm currently making as type this message. There you go. But anyway, so, this was like I said, this was the promo and everything. But let's get on to the show, shall we? As it said. Like I said, I am not a professional. I'm just like anybody else who's watching this. I'm just an everyday man, looking into things, Okay, so the first thing will be the Iran-Contra scandal. Okay, let's see. Now, the only thing I know very minimum stuff about it. Let's see here. Let's see if we can just get the Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes. Okay, let's see. Iran-Contra affair summary. We're going to go to Britannica.com. Let's see here. Now, I'm hoping that this isn't going to be a huge read, like, I'm just, like I said, this is just going to, okay, let's close that out. Oh, great, and the website's all, there it goes. Okay, Iran-Contra affair, American history. And why is it doing that? I don't want to, that is very poor design on this website's behalf. If everything gets crammed, over. Let's see, maybe if I disable ad block. I don't like doing that, but sometimes ad block is known for messing up a website. So let's see if that will fix it. Okay, it looks like it may actually fix it. Okay, so Iran-Contra affair, American history. Iran-Contra affair, 1980s U.S. political scandal in which the National Security Council, the NSC, became involved in a secret weapons transaction and other activities that either were prohibited by the U.S. Congress or violated the stated public policy of the government. Okay, I'm just curious how this is actually. Well, it's not that bad. So let's just continue on, shall we? Okay, let's see here. So we're done here now. Let's enhance this or enlarge it. There we go, full screen. There we go. The background to the scandal lay in President Ronald Reagan's preoccupation with the spread of communism, in particular in the United States' own backyard of Central America. In 1979, Sandinista liberation movement in Nicaragua had finally overthrown the dictatorship of President Anastasio Somoza's Debayle. I'm sorry if I butcher that, guys. Whereas Reagan became increasingly convinced that the presence of an actively left wing regime in the country would spark revolution throughout the region and threatened security of the United States. To combat this possibility, his administration plowed massive amounts of military aid into a number of governments in Central America that were beset by civil war and guerrilla fighting. In the case of Nicaragua, the focus was on destabilizing the government and engineering the overthrow of Marxist-oriented Sandinista regime. Military aid was channeled to militia groups, the Contras, fighting to achieve this end. The American public, however, grew increasingly opposed to such funding, and when Congress passed a law bringing it, the White House resorted to covert means to continue its support. So basically, the Reagan, no, not Reagan, the Reagan presidency was, I guess they were going kind of against what the people wanted. To me, if the president does not enact the will of the people and instead goes out and for their own, isn't that basically the equivalent of like a dictator? I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said already. It's just the thought that the public is saying no, and I'm guessing possibly some of the government, the officials in the government also said no, and he continued to do this secretly. That's kind of that's not right. Like people gave. I'm not saying that Obama was a great guy. He had his own faults. Like Bush had his own faults, and Clinton has his own faults. And believe it or not, I know that people are going to actually, drop their jaws. But even President Trump has his own faults. So this is really kind of a bad thing. Like at least to me. Anyway, there was a Middle East component to this policy as well. In early 1985, the head of the NSC, Robert C. McFarlane, undertook the sale of anti-tank and anti-aircraft missiles to Iran, in the mistaken belief that such a sale would secure the release of a number of American citizens who were being held captive in Lebanon by Shiite terrorist groups loyal to Iran. This and several subsequent weapons sales to Iran in 1986 directly contradicted the U.S. government's publicly stated policy of refusing to either bargain with terrorists or to aid Iran in its war with Iraq, a policy based on the belief that Iran was a sponsor of international terrorism. A portion of the $48 million, holy shit, that Iran paid for the arms were diverted to the NSC and given to the Contras battling the Sandinista government of Nicaragua. The monetary transfers were undertaken by NSC staff Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North with the approval of McFarlane's successor as head of the NSC, Rear Admiral John M. Poindexter. I'm sorry about that. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's just a movie character I remember once. North and his associates also raised private funds for the Contras. These activities violated the Boland Amendment, a law passed by Congress in 1984 that banned direct or indirect U.S. military aid to the Contras. Wow. Now, I'll be honest. When it came to Iran-Contra, the only thing that I knew for sure was Iran was in on it, because of the name Iran-Contra. This is the first time I'm actually doing any kind of real, research on this. And the fact is that a lot of people, if I remember correctly, got pissed, especially from the right. If I remember correctly, Obama, he did something where we paid for, oh god, like it was some traitorous former military officer or whatever. I can't recall what it was, but let's just do a quick research here. Yeah, if I can close that. Okay, let's see here. God, I don't know what to say. Obama pays for former U.S. military exchange. Let's see here. Obama's 1 point cash deal with Iran prohibited by U.S. For 30 in a row. I can't remember what it was, but there was like a guy that I thought that we paid, or that the government paid, like because we let's see, negotiate. Oh God, negotiate with terror. Obama. Negotiation terrorist. Okay, let's try Wikipedia. Yeah, states. Okay, I think. Oh, here's what it was. In May 2014, the U.S. government secured the release of Sergeant Bo Bergdahl in exchange for 5 Taliban prisoners held in Guantanamo. His release led to attacks by Republican lawmakers who claimed President Barack Obama had abandoned the decades-old U.S. policy for not negotiating with terrorists. But what is this shit? Like the Republicans and the right got all pissed about what Obama did. But are we just supposed to kind of stick our fingers in our ear and go la 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 la? Reagan never did anything wrong. La 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 la. It seems like we were paying. We were in bed with terrorists in this case. How is what Obama did any worse than what Reagan did? I'm not trying. Like I said, I'm far from a real political person. I don't know the ins and outs of much. But I'm just looking at this. It's like it seems both sides have really, kind of violated this whole rule thing. So neither side, neither right nor the left, is without fault. And the fact that everybody jumped, especially the right, jumped on Obama when Ronald Reagan, who a lot of people considered to be like one of the best case examples for the Republican Party, when he did the same thing, that's wrong. That's hypocritical, at least in my eyes. Okay, let's continue on, shall we? The NSC's illegal activities came to light in November of 1986 when and around an immediate public uproar. The Reagan administration was forced to admit it had covertly continued to fund the Contras by means of arms sales to Iran, which were themselves illegal and in breach of a trade embargo against the country. Wow. North claimed that both Reagan and his vice president George Bush had known about the covert operations, though both denied any knowledge of the details, and no evidence was ever brought linking them to any wrongdoing. I'm pretty sure that they possibly were in on it. They're the brains of the U.S. government at the time. The brain always knows what the hands are doing because the brain is telling the hands what to do. The hands just don't operate on their own, But yeah, as much as Obama, he knew what was going on. These guys knew what they were going on. The only thing is that these guys got away with a lot better than what Obama did. Poindexter and North lost their jobs and were prosecuted. President Ronald Reagan's public image was tarnished. The Tower Commission established to investigate the affair accused Reagan of a lax managerial lifestyle, and aloofness from policy detail. Well, I think it's all those jelly beans that he likes to have, but that's just me. And the United States suffered a serious, though temporary, loss of credibility as an opponent of terrorism. Moreover, the affair raised serious questions about the power of the executive branch of government and the extent of effectiveness of Congress' oversight of foreign affairs, an issue pointedly highlighted by the Tower Commission when it cited famous line query from the Roman poet Genevieve. I'm not even going to try to say that, but basically it translates to "Who will watch the watchman?" Very true. Very true. But yeah, so this is the Iran-Contra affair. I'm actually gonna let's click on the back arrow and see if I can actually Iran-Contra. I'm just curious if I can find anything. Let's see, Iran-Contra, the octopus. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here, a victim of the octopus. Okay, so well, let's go up here. We got Danny Casolaro. Maybe it may actually have some new, stuff that wasn't. Let's see here. Okay, so let's. I'm just to see here. Okay. Let's see here. I wish that they had an actual site or a section for this, because it's more about the his death and everything. Yeah, it's not really saying anything. Okay, well, I'll be honest. I was hoping that there'd be a little bit more. Like how Casolaro thought that the octopus was tied to Iran-Contra, but it's probably in here. But I'll admit I'm not the most smartest of people, so I'm not going to try to decipher all this. But let's continue on, shall we? Okay, next we had the B.C.C.I. scandal. So let's see what this is. Copy, paste. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I'm hoping this is the right thing. Yeah. I'm just curious. I'm just gonna go down and see if it mentions Danny Casolaro or anything. It really doesn't say anything. I'm not even sure this is the right. You know. Hmm. Okay, well, apparently it's the Bank of Credit and Commerce International, B.C.C.I. was an international bank founded in 1972 by Agha Hassan Abedi, a Pakistani financier. The bank was registered in Luxembourg with head office in Karachi and London. A decade after opening, BCCI had over 400 branches in 78 countries and assets in excess of 20 US billion dollars, making it the seventh largest private bank in the world. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, BCCI came under scrutiny of financial regulators and intelligence agencies in the 80s due to concerns that it was poorly regulated. Subsequent investigations revealed that it was involved with massive money laundering and financial crimes. and had illegally gained the controlling interest of a major American bank. BCCI became the focus of a massive regulatory battle in 1991. On the 5th of July that year, customs and bank regulators in 7 countries raided and locked down records of its branch offices. Investigators in the U.S. and UK revealed that BCCI had been set up deliberately to avoid centralized regulatory review and operated extensively in bank secrecy jurisdictions. Its affairs were extraordinarily complex. Its officers were sophisticated international bankers whose apparent objective was to keep their affairs secret, to commit fraud on a massive scale, and avoid detection. The liquidators Deloitte and Touch filed a lawsuit against the bank's auditors Price Waterhouse and Ernst and Young, which settled for $175 million in 1998. By 2013, Deloitte, possibly, and Touche claimed to have recovered about 75% of the creditors' lost money. And it's pretty big, but basically what it is that a bank was not entirely what it was appearing to be. I can actually imagine the octopus having their hands on something like this. Any way to get money moved unsecurely, and everything without being noticed that much by the U.S. government. If Danny Casolaro was right and Octopus had their hands in Iran-Contra, maybe somehow through, the means that the Octopus had, maybe some money that was going to the Iran-Contra could have been going through the B.C.C.I. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm a fan like you of Unsolved Mysteries, and I'm just talking, giving my thoughts about stuff. But I do want to let you guys know that if all of a sudden I disappear on my tombstone, please put down that Jeff mentioned the octopus. Okay? Thank you. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see here. We have the B.N.L affair. Okay, hold on, let me just scratch my ear. Okay. Okay. Oh, I better reactivate my ad block. Yeah. I probably got a whole shit ton of cookies on my computer now without even realizing it. Well, I can't really access that because I don't have the money. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. I just want the Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes. Books. Yeah, that's not gonna. Okay, let's try. Was the B.N.L affair? Wow, apparently it could be from this description here. It looks like it could be oh, great. Okay, let's unblock ads. Pause on all sites. Okay, B.N.L the 7th investigation. Okay, I'm just doing it quick. Okay, let's see here. Maybe I can do a quick read of this. In one respect, at least, the Justice Department's handling of the B.N.L. case has been a success. It managed to keep the cork in the bottle until after the election. There was leakage. There was some leakage the Bush administration would have greatly preferred to avoid the open quarrel in October between the CIA and Justice over the responsibility of CIA's misleading letters to court trying the B.N.L. case in Atlanta. Hold on, I'm just really doesn't say what the B.N.L. was, but by the looks of it, from hold on, let me go back and do the resume blocking ads. By the sounds of it, let's see here, where was it? It's called the B&L was the Banca Nationale dell'Ovia. It was an Italian bank that lent more than 4 billion apparently to various people. Uh, yeah, yeah, but that apparently it was another banking scandal. So once again, like with oh god, what was it? B.C.C.I. It looks like I would not doubt it that the octopus had their grips in this. You know, the more ways you can move money, dirty money, without it being traced and stuff, a lot easier it is. Like instead of having to try to force, your dirty money through all these through one bank or whatever. If you have at least a couple banks, it makes it a little bit easier. It's like spreading it and everything. Like I said, I'm not an expert or anything. These are just the thoughts of a everyday man like you and me, or you and everybody else. Yeah. Okay. Finally, what we have now is the now discredited October surprise. Okay. If this is another bank, I'll be, like, okay. Hmm. Okay, October surprise. We got a little Wikipedia here, so. Uh, October surprise. In American political jargon, October surprise is a news event deliberately created or timed or sometimes occurring spontaneously to influence the outcome of an election, particularly one of the U.S. presidency. The reference of the month of October is because the date for national elections, as well as many state and local elections, is in early November. Therefore, events that take place in late October have a greater potential to influence the decisions of prospective voters. Sorry. Okay, and so that's basically what it was. It's apparently it's a way to it's a way to try to rig the elections for one side. Now let's just go to Clinton versus Trump. Okay. On October 7th, a recording from 2005 was released in which Republican Party nominee Donald Trump, using explicit language, claimed he can kiss and grope women because he is a star. Sorry, not a liar, but a star. Several politicians from both major parties expressed their disapproval of these remarks. Trump, who had been accused of sexism on several occasions before, later apologized for these remarks, saying, "They don't reflect who I am." But the remarks led to many Republicans withdrawing their endorsement from Trump, including Arizona Senator John McCain. And we all know about the tension between the Trump and McCain family. The New Hampshire Senator Kelly Ayotte, or whatever, and Carly Fiorina, many others who had not previously endorsed him, asked him to step aside as Republican nominee, including former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. The same day, WikiLeaks released emails and excerpts surrounding the Democratic Party nominee Hillary Clinton, including voice excerpts of speeches given by Clinton on a variety of banks, revealing a stance of trade deals different from those purported by Clinton during her campaign, along with her belief that it is beneficial to hold both public and private beliefs. 3 weeks later, on October 28th, the then FBI Director James Comey announced in a letter to Congress that he would take appropriate investigative steps to review additional emails related to Hillary Clinton's use of private email server. This was announced after newly discovered emails were found on a computer that was seized by the FBI during an investigation of former Congressman Anthony Weiner. After being accused of sending explicit pictures to a minor, the emails were found on a computer used by both Weiner and his ex-wife, top Clinton aide Huma Abedin, according to law enforcement officials. Several hours later, Hillary Clinton responded to the decision of the director by calling on the FBI to be fully transparent and to release full and complete facts on what the emails contain. On October 30th, it was reported that 650,000 emails on, wow, that's a lot of emails, on Weiner's computer were to be investigated, potentially being relevant to this particular and other cases. So that was basically, the with the exception of the midterm elections, this is like the last October surprise, I guess you would call it. I'm not a fan of either Trump or Clinton, so I'm not. You can't say that I'm a Democrat or Republican. I'm right down the middle. I like to think I'm an independent. I'm not sure that that probably won't make if you're a fan of Trump, you'll still think I'm an enemy because I'm against Trump, and you're a fan of Clinton or whoever the lead Democrat going into this election is, you'll think I'm an enemy of them because I don't go with your ideology either. So. I understand if you don't like me, period. But that was it for the Iran-Contra scandal, the B.C.C.I, the B.N.L affair, and the now discredited October surprise. I will be honest, I was hoping that there would have been something. Okay, wait, hold on. October conspiracy theory. Okay, Danny Casolaro. Okay. Oh, it's just a small blurb. On August 1991, freelance writer Danny Casolaro, among others, claimed to be almost ready to expose the alleged October surprise conspiracy when he suddenly died a violent death in a hotel bathtub in Martinsburg, West Virginia, raising suspicions. He appeared to be traveling on leads for his investigation into the Unsolved affair. His death was ruled a suicide, and that's all basically that they got. But that marks the end of this special video. I'm sorry. I know you're probably thinking I was going to have some major earth-shattering, revelation with this video, and it really didn't have anything of that sort. It was just me just doing some research, finding out about these things that I never knew about to begin with. But I guess that marks the end for this special presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you may have found out something new like I did. Like I said, I knew really nothing about any of this stuff. A couple of the things, the BNC, I think it was, and the B.C.C.I or whatever, B.N.L and B.C. I learned that there was basically issues with banks, and then I learned more about Iran-Contra, and then a little bit more with October surprise. But I guess that marks the end. So if you liked what you watched, and if you don't, that's okay. I understand. feel free to leave a thumbs up in the on the video. I'm gonna be posting this to YouTube and Facebook. I don't think I'll be posting it to Dailymotion. But wherever you're watching this, if you feel the need to and you would like, feel free to click a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it if you did, but if you don't, that's okay also. If you think that this, little, video that was produced by a everyday man deserves a a subscriber, that's okay. Click on that red button on YouTube or click on the follow button on Facebook. It's totally cool with me. So until next time, everybody, my name is Jeff. Stay safe out there, everybody. Peace out.